Hello. Oh no, things are lagging. That's not good sign. Uh-huh. Oh well. Um, yeah. We're gonna be reading TGAB. I don't know if I'm forgetting something or if I'm not. Oh. Oh, yes, that's me. uh, I should bring up chat on my phone. Uh, there you go. All right. I have chat up on my phone. Should unblock that because it's not very wieldy. Sorry. um. Yes. Okay. We last left off when oh boy. All right. Where we last left off at the end of chapter 1 after reading both the prologue and chapter 1. I am hoping that the mic is better quality, but no one is in here yet, so I can't actually ask. Um uh yeah. I don't know. We finished off chapter 1 like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. And I know I didn't stream last week. I was sick. Still technically am, but I feel good enough to be able to do this. I need to lower the temperature of, I mean, higher the heater. 24 was just a tad bit too cold. In shorts. Yeah, I'll continue to be reading this. Let me know if it's laggy or if the sound lags because that's the main thing that matters. Let me know if you can't see the text as well. I will try to enlarge it. Yes. Right. I need to say thank you for a bunch of people who followed me since last time. Hey, hi P. Pi is death. Pi is death. What? I do not know you. Hello. You're new. Just a little hiss. I have the echo turned down, so I guess it's just the fan. Maybe let's decrease the speed of the fan and see if that helps. Maybe just yeah. All right. Are you from the TGAB Discord? Because I know I did post it in there. uh, I figured I should because I did ask Webb back then, and I don't know if he's actually online, but he did say I can post it there, which is why I've been doing that. But it's all if he needs to remove, he can remove it. Um, yeah, I'm a bit bigger. Yeah, sure. Let's just zoom in, I guess. Let's go in a bit more. Oh, might be a bit too much. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, that should be fine. Uh, Sweet. Right, so we last left off Triciny just as she was getting off the rail. Ah, well, welcome. I hope you've at least passed this part, because I guess if you haven't read anything, then this is technically spoilers, but it is literally like the first chapter of the first book. So, um, hey, that's good. That's good. I'm blanking out all of a sudden. I wanted to say words, and now I forgot what I was gonna say. I don't know. It's a good book. I hope you've enjoyed it or are enjoying it. Um, Webb is taking a bit of a break from it. He's writing another book because he has been burnt out on this one, which I mean, fair enough. He's been writing it for like 4 or 5 years, I think. Just constantly in the midst of like depression and mental illnesses and stuff, and it's nuts how good he has it, like written. How good he has written it, even in the midst of everything. And yeah, I'm just doing a reread because I missed the story. All right, that's cool. Okay, good. So you don't need to worry about spoilers then. I'm just doing a reread because it's a good ass story and I've missed it. Um, but also I did see that Webb has moved on to a new book. At least for the time being. Um, he wants to write. Only Villains Do This, I believe was the name of the book. I need to double check that. Give me a second. uh, yes, Only Villains Do That. Ah, close. Only Villains Do That. Oh, right. Well, it is on hiatus right now. TGAB is on hiatus right now. So there, you can read to those 23 chapters, but might be better to just leave it. If where you ended was a good ending spot. But yeah, I rotate to a bunch of web serials as well. I think right now I am waiting on like 20 something web serials to update. Let me just, yep, 20 something. Um, yeah, usually I read like a bunch over and over again. But yeah, it's been a while since I've read the starting bits of TCAB, and I kind of wanted to reread it as well because it's been a while and like I don't have all of the details in my head. So yeah, uh, I usually wait for like a good 5 to 10 minutes before I start reading because I want to make sure like people are not coming in late and coming in the middle of a chapter or something. Um, but yeah, I usually do 2 chapters or so before I jump to something else if I'm tired. Oh yeah, Practical Guide is good. Practical Guide to Evil is good. I wanted to read that book as well, but I just never heard back from Erata, who's the author of Practical Guide to Evil. That's a good book. Um, Death Worlders I've not read. I have it on my to read list though, because I've seen it and I was like, that looks like an interesting premise. I'm just lazy to start it right now, and so I didn't. um, yeah, it's a good book. I'll probably get into it fairly soon. Um, oh, I see. Yeah, usually I read from the latest unread chapter. Well, no, I read from the latest read chapter, like the last bit, which is why I have stopped it here so that I can like, find it again. Yeah, Cat has the best humor. Cat's great. Um, with the goblin fire and everything, all the sardonic humor. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. Death Warless is amazing and long. Ah, okay, that's two good qualities. Good enough for me. Yeah, I should read that. I have been putting it off because I've been not in the best place mentally, and that's been affecting like motivation, I guess, for anything and everything, including this stuff. But hey, maybe I'll start it. Uh, but yeah, 10 minutes has passed. We can start now. Um, so we last left off Tristany just giving a blessing on Haywood Paxton. Yes, Haywood Paxton's. Um, just before she got off at Last Rock. So yes, lesser foot rest. uh, I love Cat so much. I do not know where you are in that book, but I love Cat so much. Um, yeah, I believe I'm caught up on Guide. I'm waiting for Relic to come back from their hiatus. I believe they're coming back in March, so it'll be a while yet. But oh my god, that's a good book. I wanna read that book on stream if I can as well. If I can get Erratic to reply me. Uh, all right. So yes, there's a slight delay between stream and chat because of how the internet works. I believe it's like a second or two. Do let me know if it's more than that because I put it on the lowest setting, but sometimes that does not work. um, it's just internet delays. I can't change much about that, but it is what it is. Um, yes, black is no longer black. Yep, black is fucking black is no longer black. That's where you're at. I see. There's a big portion of the book that could be at. I don't know if it just lost his name or if he's lost his name for a while and like you don't quite know what's happened to him. There's some leeway there. I'm trying not to spoil the book as well for anyone else who might be here, which might be no one. But I'm trying not to spoil the book for anyone because that's a good book. And if you want to read it, you should read it. Like just get into it. It's so good. Um, yeah, I believe affiliates is like 30ish, I believe. Um, no, no, not 30. Sorry, you can set it to lesser. Uh, but it doesn't like always take as of pretty much anything really. Um, I usually just give up on it. It's why I have Scuff Stream always in my title because it's almost always a Scuff Stream, and I just can't bother to fix it nowadays. But yeah, yeah. All right, I'm gonna start the next chapter because that's where we're starting from. So, book one, chapter two. Once again, she landed in chaos. Trissini's mental picture of a frontier town admittedly came from comics and cheap novels, what few had slipped past the Abbey's defenses. She could hardly have been surprised to find that Last Rock was not a single dusty street lined with wooden buildings. Cobblestone streets fanned out from the rail platform, framing solid and quite elegant structures of well-dressed stone that wouldn't have looked out of place in a medieval village. Really, that only made sense, positioned as the town was at the base of a mountain with no trees in sight. So I will still be replying to chat if you want to talk. I just will reply in between paragraphs, probably. Um, yeah. She barely had a chance to appreciate the town, however, as a roar of pandemonium went up as soon as she stepped off the caravan. The streets and the edges of the platform were thronged with townsfolk, apparently in their church day best, cheering and applauding as though greeting victorious soldiers just back from the trenches. Somewhere nearby, barely visible to gaps in the crowd, an enthusiastic but clearly unpracticed brass band struck up a sprightly tune. Colorful streamers and buntings were draped everywhere. Wreaths hung from darkened street lamps and strung across the main avenue. Directly ahead of her was a huge banner reading, "Welcome, freshmen." And below that, a slightly larger one, "Welcome back, assholes." Yeah, no, I usually read a lot faster than this as well. It's just, yeah. I guess when you talk, you slow down to make it flow better, versus if you like just sight read. Because I usually like can finish a chapter of TGAB, especially one of these earlier ones. I used to be able to finish them in like, I want to say like an hour, maybe. Yeah, Webb really sets the scene. He's got like really descriptive writing. I love it. I love it so much. And his world, oh, so good. His world building, oh, lovely, just so good. But yeah, I understand that he has to take a break from it because it is a very intensive story. But oh man, I wish he didn't have to. Like I get it, I really do, and I really am happy that he's taking the break. But whew, oh man, that's a place to take a break. Um, but that's way in the future. Oh yeah, I stammer as well. This I'm only doing this because I really love the book, and it's also a way for me to practice getting better with with reading. So yeah. Anyway, that was troubling. Before she before she decided how to react to all this, a door was flung open, two cars behind her, and a boy came staggering out. I've no idea how far I was in the wandering in when I started, or how far wandering in was when I started. All I know is I'm up to date now, and I just want more. I just keep wanting more. Wandering is good as well. That one I've not been wanting to read on stream because it has an audiobook, so I don't want to take away from that. Um, but it's a good book. It's got good descriptors and stuff. I like the world building in that one as well. Yes, it's Gabe. uh, oh wait, that's technically shit. That's technically spoilers because I haven't read that yet. Never mind. Trissany gathered only an impression of dark tousled hair and a long black coat before he stumbled to his knees and was loudly, violently sick. At this, the cheering on all sides intensified, and a few catcalls rang out. I think I started at about 17k pages. Ooh, damn. Nice. Yeah, no, I can't remember. I just remember that uh the wandering in with like college uni with like uni and some other stuff was pretty good. Simple. Hello, I'm good. You can see my face now, Simple. Hi. uh, hey, you got your wave. Um, yeah. I blanked out because you came in, Simple. Oh my god. Yes, anyway. She scowled, letting go of her trunk and turning toward the poor boy. Riding the rails the first time without the benefit of a lot of physical training must have been a nightmarish experience. Even she would not have come out of the belt bruised, at the least, if not for Mr. Paxton's warnings. And it was not right for people to treat someone's misfortunes as entertainment. It is a very cute emote, yes. Is that Froppy? It is Froppy, isn't it? No, it's not. It's not Froppy. Dang it. Oh, it's a dog. Oh, that's adorable. It looks a lot like Froppy. I am aware that you probably were saying, "Oh, I'm so cute for me," but nah, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna pretend that's not what you said. uh, a second young man, casually dressed and with a very dark complexion, had emerged from the same car and now knelt by his fallen companion, ignoring the crowd. Trissany hesitated. If it were herself, She'd rather people gave her space and didn't acknowledge her discomfort so publicly. But that was just her. Besides, FA expected her to end the raid wherever it was needed. Oh my god, I fucking failed that. Besides, FA expected her to render aid wherever it was needed. And though she wasn't a healer by calling, just channeling raw holy power at someone would soothe a lot of ailments. You there, girl in the armor. Ah, oh, fuck, I messed that up. You there, you, girl in the armor. Warily, she twisted back the other way, in time to see an old woman in a black gown, nearly a century out of fashion, swat a grinning boy of about 12 out of the way with one of the two kings on which she dragged herself along. You're the paladin, right? The old woman grinned broadly, and Justine forced herself not to flinch. Her teeth, those that remained, were as brown as old wood. Paladin of FA! Oh, yeah, 100%. Tristany later on in the story, so much better. But right now, like knowing how she becomes later is so good to see like where she started. It's I don't know that disconnect. I guess disconnect. I don't know the growth. Yes, the growth. Seeing that growth is so good. It's so good. Paladin of A. Finally, the gods are sending us a message again, yeah? Finally, the paladins are coming back, and they're both coming here. That's you, right? I am a hand of a way, Tricini said carefully, having to pitch her voice a little louder than she liked to be audible over the crowd. I fucked that up. Having to pitch her voice a little louder than she liked to be audible over the crowd. I've been pronouncing it a V. A V works. I've just been pronouncing it a V because that's how it looks. Um, that's another thing is I find is that with books, pronunciation always differs between the reader. Like how you pronounce it a V versus how I pronounce it a V. And half the time I switch as well because if I'm pronouncing it a V now, I might pronounce it a V next week. So, like, I don't notice it, but I just switch based on like how long it's been since I've read it, or just I don't know, just life, I guess, or I've heard someone pronouncing something similar a different way, and I'm like, that sounds cool, and I pronounce a V that way instead, or a V that way. I don't know. But yeah, that's something that will be different for each person. I wanted to do like a voice for each person, but I can't. Yeah, it's very much subjective. It's very much subjective. Like Gabriel, for example, which we have technically met, but we will meet properly later. Um, you could pronounce it Gabriel. You could also pronounce it Gabriel, with like a with that like difference, and I don't know. It's just something. It's cool. It's a weird thing. It's cool. I like it. uh, where were we? Where were we? Several of the closest bystanders immediately cheered even more loudly at her. Nobody offered up any of the rude commentary they'd been thrown at the boy who'd lost his lunch. She glanced over at him. He was standing, weakly, with his friend's arm about his shoulders, and the pair were being pressed in upon by several of the locals carrying small trays. More detail than that she didn't manage to catch before the old woman in front of her let out a loud crow like a cockle. Cockerel? Cockerel? Cockerel. Ave. AV. AV. AV? Oh, AV is a good one too. Oh, I don't know. I've been pronouncing Ave because that's how it looks and that's how I remember how to pronounce it. But AV is pretty good. I kind of want to steal that. IV. IV. Ivy. Hmm. I knew it! she chortled, thumping one of her canes against the stone platform. It's about time, is all. Yes, time for the gods to send someone to straighten out that nest of iniquity and vice up there on the hill. Elves and wizards and perverts, the lot of them. You'll fix them good, won't you, Paladin? Huh? Uh, Tristany glanced around again. Over a dozen pairs of eager eyes were upon her. She was surrounded by grins. By all the Pantheon, did these people think this was street theater? Eh? Oh, Mabel, give the poor girl a moment to get her boots on the ground before you start preaching, said a new voice in a throaty purr that really seemed too soft to carry as well as it did over the noise. Tristany spun again, and found herself almost nose to nose with a strikingly pretty black-haired woman. Only as an afterthought did she realize it was an elf. Yes, English is... Yeah, technically. English is technically my native language, yeah. Um, but I suck at reading out loud. I read really quick, just like if I'm reading to myself. But I suck at reading aloud. And yeah, no, that's... You're fine. I don't mind. Usually I have a hashtag AMA in my title, but I clearly did not this time because I forgot. Oops. um, but yeah, you can ask me anything and I'll answer. And I'll, bruh. And I'll probably answer. You heard that right there, didn't you, Simple? Yeah, that was me spiraling into incoherency. When I speak a word and I can't say it halfway through and I just go blah blah blah. Because I can't. Um, I'm bad like that. I like even with just like normal words when I'm speaking with other people and whatever, I do that as well. It's dumb. I hate it. I wonder who too. I can't do that. Simple has not read the book. I'm fairly certain Simple has not read the book. Um, for the record, if you guys want to know what the book is, I tapped too far. For the record, because it is there, Simple. Read it in your free time, or you can catch streams somewhat regularly. Yeah, I do that too. I repeat the start of words a lot. Or you can catch my streams somewhat regularly, by which I mean I have no idea when I do them, and I just know I do them on weekends. And then I read the book for you. Especially these days, because laptop's not letting me run games. And I stream from a laptop, so that always helps. Does not help. Anyway. Dark hair was supposed to be rare among the elvish tribes, so she'd heard. Tristany had rarely met elves and never been this close to one. The differences from humans weren't so glaring. This woman was a slender build, but not abnormally so. Her eyes were on the large side, and her features rather pointed. Oops, sorry. But not enough to seem out of place on a human face. Tristany herself had some of those traits. Only the long tapered ears poking up through her hair marked the elf for certain. I just realized something that I'm not gonna spoil. Hussy! Screeched the old woman, clobbering the elf with a cane to no effect. Apparently, there wasn't much strength in those bony arms. Freak! Harlot! Painted trollop! I know what you get up to over in the Travens. Subhuman thing from Elal's bosom? You get away from that girl. She's a good girl, she is. And you! Tristany jerked back as a cane was pointed directly into her face. You smite this heathen slattern. She's of the Black Lady's own stock, she is. Do your duty, girl. Oh my god, I forgot about Mabel being a little bitch. Uh, anyway, continuing. I see you've met my fan club, said the elf airily, ignoring repeated blows from the cane. It's such a pleasure to meet you at last, Tricini. Welcome to Last Rock. I have something here I think you'll like. Smiling disarmingly, she produced a small, flattish wooden box from within her coat and opened it. A golden pendant formed in the eagle symbol of Ave rested upon black velvet within. Do I know you? Tricini asked loudly, resisting the urge to grip her sword. Symbol of her faith or no? Something about this woman set her on edge. She smiled the way that oily man who sold Abbey produce did. Mother Nanny had to supervise him very closely. I realized another thing. Oh my god, he fucking foreshadowed it from fucking chapter 2. Jesus Christ. Alright, cool, cool. I know you, my dear, which will do for a start. Everyone knows about the new paladins joining the student body this year. I'm just a simple enchanter and purveyor of magical trinkets, and purely honored to make your acquaintance. I'd like you to have this as a gift, from me, at no charge. Smiling broadly, she pressed the box forward again, then had to jerk it back as the crone tried to swat it out of her hands. Sorry. Crack! Even the band faltered. Townspeople who'd been pressing ever closer to her scuttled back revealed. What? Ah. This sentence reads weird. I don't know how you change it either. Interesting. No, don't give out names. Because I will laugh. uh, anyway, even the band faltered. Townspeople who had been pressing ever closer to her scuttled back. Oh, it's ever closer to her. Scuttled back. I see. Okay, okay. Revealing a man in denim and flannel, with a wand pointed skyward and a silver griffin pinned to his shirt. In the confusion, she hadn't even seen the lightning bolt, but the tip of his wand still smoked faintly. Okay, folks, that'll do. Show's over. Let's all take a step back before I have to feel disappointed in somebody. Sheriff, Tricini said desperately, cocking a head at her two admirers. Tugging the broad brim of his hat to her, he ambled over. On this breath, you two. Were you raised in a barn? Do we have to go through this every year? I was raised in a tree, said the elf with a grin. And unless it's suddenly illegal to talk to paladins, nobody's doing anything wrong here. Miss Avila, here, please, take this. Avila. Don't you pull that attitude on me, Master Samuel Sanders, squawked the old woman, brandishing a cane. Just because you've got a fancy badge now doesn't mean you don't have to respect your elders. And taking a god's name in vain for shame. I know your poor mother, rest her soul, raised you better than that. Well, you caught me dead to rights, Miss Scratchley, said the sheriff easily. The sheriff said easily. Jesus Christ. Avila? Oh, Avila is a good. I'll try to remember Avila. I like Avila. Avila's nice. Avila. Avila, yeah. Could have been either the. Which line? Not sure which line you're talking about. I'm gonna guess this one because that does feel like a Triss line. Sorry, not Triss. Arcane line. Arcanine, right? Yeah, the the disappointed one. Yeah, yeah. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. No. Yes. It served me right if you went and wrote a letter to the editor about my deplorable behavior right this minute. Arachne. Yes, that's a lot better way to pronounce that. I shall try to keep that in mind. Yes, I know it's the ancient Greek for spider. I just every time I read it, I know that. I just never read it out loud, so I don't like, words. It's pronunciation things. I hate that. uh, you see if I don't, you young hellion. She waved the cane at him once more, then began the complicated process of turning around and ambling off, still shrilly complaining. Young people these days, no respect. None! In my day, we knew how to pay respect to the gods, yes, sir, and to our elders, to the gods. Yeah, there is a reason for that simple. um, yeah, there is a reason for that. There is a reason for that. Which is why I keep like switching between saying arcane and like putting a hitch in there because of Arachne. A lot of foreshadowing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love it. Oh, just reading this, rereading this because Pi definitely has read it. And I've read it. Uh, just rereading this part's so good, so good. I love this book so fucking much. Uh, yep. Okay. Well, how do I find this book? Telrin. I love Telrin. Yeah. Anyway, how did I find this book? I found this book. Ooh. I think via. Okay, so I got into. You found it via lit RPG. Okay, that's interesting. I wouldn't consider this lit RPG. I would consider this more like high fantasy or sci-fi fantasy, based on what happens later. Oh, really? There's a background for Telrin. I do not know that background. Um, so for me, how I found this book, I used to read this one uh, web novel recommended by my friend. Its name was Worm. Oh, parahumans. Fuck, I misclicked that. Well done, me. This one. You just found it while searching. I see. I see. So Worm is another book. It's the first web novel I ever read, and it is what introduced me to this entire world. Of course, before that, um, yeah, but it's been a while, Pi. I mean, don't need to tell me. Don't need to tell me. But it's been a while since I've read it, so Worm is good. Worm is good. Worm was the first web novel I ever read. And before that, I would read only like published books. Um, and I wouldn't even read on my like I wouldn't read on like the internet, right? I would I wouldn't even read like fucking uh ebooks. Those are not a thing I did. But Worm got me into ebooks and it got me into web novels. And for that, I have to thank my friend Shane, who is not in this, but yeah, I got into Ward, which is a sequel to Worm, but I didn't read it too much. It felt too different. It felt too different. I didn't really. It's very depressing, yeah, and I'm not in the good headspace for that either. So, but yeah, like he got me into Worm, and then Worm has this voting link for to vote for like the best book of the. It used to be called Top Web Fiction, but now it's changed in some weird shit. Um, but yeah, I went to that link, and then I realized, hey, I can vote for things, and then I saw there was a leaderboard, and then I saw there were like some books up at the top. I think the first one I got into wasn't TGAB. I think it was. Oh, I can't remember which one I first got into after like Worm. Um, yeah. Yeah, Pi. You're right. You're right. I have read both other works, yeah. But either way, after I finished Worm, I went to the top web fiction because I was like, oh my god, Worm's great. I wonder if there's any books other like this. And then I found some of the books, and then one of those books recommended TGAB, and then I started reading TGAB, and I fell in love. And I think TGAB recommended Practical Guide to Evil. Um, yeah, Practical Guide to Evil, and there's another book that TGAB recommended. Oh, Wandering In, and both of these were good as shit, and I like, yeah, I love it. It's good. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Fall of Dark Future. No, I've not read that one. I do not know that one either. That's the first time I'm hearing of that one. I will have to add it to something I need to look up later. Uh, Fall of Dark Future. Oh, Kissed by Muse. Ah, it started in Reddit. No, it didn't start in Reddit. Interesting. I'll check it out. Interesting. Interesting. Science of physics is based in realism and science. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I'll check it out after stream. Well, that take cares of that. Well, that takes care of the one I would feel bad about shooting. He raised an eyebrow at the elf, who fluttered her eyelashes at him. All right, keep it in your pants, Sam. Tricini, if you just. No, thank you, she said firmly. I don't need jewelry, of any kind. Oh, but I know what a young adventurer needs. Trust me, I'll deal only in the most magical of. That will do, Sippy, said the sheriff, all humor gone from his voice. She'll be here all year. You can bide your time and make a pest of yourself when the poor girl's had a chance to settle in. Move along. The elf closed the box with a loud snap. For just a moment, she glared daggers at Sanders, then turned an amiable grin on Tristany. Well, the man's not wrong. It's wonderful to have you in town, Tristany. I look forward to seeing you again. Bowing, she backed away into the crowd. MC's a speedster and the physics are realistic. Cool. I'll have to check it out. I am on a superhero lit RPG kind of kick right now, so that's good to know. Yeah, I would recommend other stuff, but I want to get through the chapter. uh, Thank you, she said with feeling. The sheriff smiled at her. Not all, ma'am. That's why they pay me the big bucks. Can I offer you an escort past the town? I appreciate your help, she said a little stiffly. But I don't need any. I don't require any man's protection. Amiable? How did I read that? Did I not read it as amiable? 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 How did I read that? I have no idea. I am well aware that you don't, miss, but there's more to life than what a body requires. I thought you might like a little protection anyway. See that? He cocked a finger at the crowd where the two boys had been just moments ago. There was no sign of them now. Apparently, they had managed to escape. In their place stood half a dozen well-dressed people carrying trays of snacks, toys, and baubles, eyeing her all eyeing her hungrily. My beloved constituency. Good folks as a rule, but you should know up front that they view you and the rest of students as walking coin presses. They'll leave you alone if you're with me, but if you'd rather not, you can always beat them back with your sword, I guess. But then we would have to have an entirely different kind of conversation. Yeah, no worries. Abruptly, the fine hairs along Tristani's arm stood on end. Her skull tingled distractingly. Then, with an ear-splitting crack of arcane energy, the caravan behind her began moving. Its acceleration was a frightening thing to behold. It was over the horizon in seconds. How had she survived riding that wretched thing? How did anyone? When you put it that way, she said carefully, bending to grasp the handle of her trunk, I think I would appreciate an escort. I live to serve. Shall we? He was as good as his word. The cheering had begun to fade as soon as the caravan departed, people drifting away to tend to their own business. Though she remained the center of attention, nobody else pressed forward or tried to intercept her with the sheriff by her side. He led her at an easy pace from the rail platform and down what appeared to be the main avenue of the tiny town. Is it like this every year? She asked cautiously. Stands and stalls, most looking rather cobbled together, occupied the edges of the street, displaying a wide variety of goods and obstructing the actual storefronts. Bright banners, pennants, and bunting were hung everywhere. Fuck me. Thank you for the follow. Oh my god, that scared the fuck. Thank you for the sub as well. You should not have. I do not deserve a sub. That scared the fuck out. Oh my god, that scared me so much. I am very jumpy. I do not take jump scares very well. It is why there is. Oh wait, is the goal gone now? Oh wait, is the goal gone now? It is. Ah, ah. I needed to extend that. Thank you for the sub pie. I do not have emotes. I do not have anything. I do have a Discord server, and that's the most you get. Uh, but thank you for using a Twitch Prime here, of all places. That's the worst place to use it. Should have used it in like I don't know, fucking I don't know, Webs. Yeah, Web himself streams. Should have used it in Webs. Though I don't think he streamed in like a month. Um, but yeah, thank you very much for the Prime. I do not expect a Prime. Yeah. Why me? I don't get it. Already sub to the people you watch, so fuck it. I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. Technically, you aren't spending any money on me, so that's good. But you are spending a Prime on me, so that's bad. I don't get it, but whatever. It's your money. It's your Prime. Um, but yeah, I give me a second. I forgot I had an opportunity to do this. The where is this affiliate? No, channel. Where do I do the channel point stuff? Yes, here. View rewards, channel points, manage. Yes, okay, whatever. Extend. 30 max. Yep, 30. There we go. Yes, that zombie follow notification is the default follow notification for Streamlabs OBS. I've done nothing. I've done zero things about this stream. I have no emotes, I have no sub badges, I have no follow like custom followers and stuff. I have done zero things. I don't understand. I just stream for the sake of streaming, honestly. I did it. I initially did it to get one emote, but I had things happen, life happened, and now I do not have that one emote. I'm gonna have to recommission that emote again. But yeah, that I'm still jumpy. I do not have emotes. I do not have emotes. Oh, you stream too? Let me follow you. Let me follow you whenever it loads. Jesus Christ, it takes forever to load. There you go. I have followed you, and I shall, if it happens, if I do see you stream, I shall catch it. Hopefully. Yeah. Um. No, 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 no. It's fine. I don't remember what I said after that. I just said I have followed you. I think. I do not have emote simple. But I did see your emote simple. Simple is an emote artist. She. I'm actually not sure. They do good work. They. Do I have any of your emotes? Do I have heroes emotes? Hero. I do not have heroes emotes right now. Um, they've done emotes for hero for life. Did I spell that right? I did. Um, they've done emotes for hero for yeah. Thank you, Simple, for showing off your own work. Uh, simple as cute emotes. Oh, rather simple draws cute emotes. I okay. I didn't know you had your own. I knew you streamed, but I didn't know you did your own emotes. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Um, yeah, I've not asked you to do my emotes because I want Gundams as my emotes. Uh, hence the name, I Regret Gundam. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Ah, I was probably lurking, but I wasn't paying attention. That's what I do. I lurk. Um, but yeah, no. I wanted to ask you, but then I realized that whatever I've seen you draw, for emotes and stuff, I've only ever seen like yeah, I've only ever seen like heroes emotes, and they all look cute, but they're not mechas, and I don't know how you maybe you would struggle with mechas and stuff, so I didn't want to like pressure you. Um, yeah, that's why I didn't ask you to draw for me. Uh, but I don't really know who I'm gonna ask either. 32 by 32, I believe. Maybe not. 28 by 28. Ah, fuck! I remembered wrong. Um, yeah. My words have stopped working. I wanted to do things and I forgot. Mm. Ba-da-da-da-da. I mean, yeah, you would have to know the size. It makes sense. Okay. I got distracted by Discord. My fault. Um, getting back to the book now. I'm gonna stream more commission. Ah, no, maybe pie. Yeah, no, simple. I had one emote idea when I started to stream, and that was literally just so I could do a whistle, like an emote whistle. And the only reason for that was because I really wanted a whistle emote to be like, you know, like a sheepish whistle, like it's not me, that kind of thing. Uh, that's pretty much the only emote I want. And now I have like 4 slots, and I do not know what to do. And then I lost that whistle emote as well. So Ah, first year secondary school. Cool, cool. Not sus, yes. Um, yeah. Your name is the name your late friend came up with, and oh, secondary school. It's not a usual thing if you're from America, so I'm gonna guess uh, either Southeast Asia or I'm gonna say Southeast Asia or fuck British. Close. I was gonna say Australia. Um, yeah, I'm a former colony of Britain. I'm from a former colony. I'm from Singapore. Uh, Hence why secondary is an immediate like, this person is in a similar schooling system as me, or was, because most of the time, if you're from, well, no, Australia doesn't say secondary. Australia says high school. Uh, yeah, British Empire did do a lot. Yeah, Australia, U.S. both through high school. India does some weird class thing. I don't fully understand that one. Uh, I can't remember what China does, but yeah, which is why usually if you say secondary, I go with like Southeast Asia because that's where British colonies existed and Britain. But I don't say Britain usually because time zones are an issue. Which reminds me, this should be fairly. Wait, no, you'd be behind. Wait, yeah, it would be. Isn't it fairly late from you? Aussies have nicked a lot from the U.S. and from Britain. It's a mix. Aussies like literally a mix of like Britain and U.S. It's weird. Oh, it's early in the morning. Oh, it's 8 a.m. It's perfectly in the morning for you. Okay, cool, cool. I didn't. Okay, yeah, I don't have too many friends in Britain, so I don't memorize their time zone difference. I guess the time difference from there to here. Uh, yeah. Anyway, continuing. Where am I? Where am I? He led her an easy place away from. Uh, he led her at an easy pace away from the rail platform and down what appeared to be the main avenue of the tiny town. Ah, night shift. I see. I see. What shots are you giving, Simple? Yeah, that's a fair point. Time zones will make me almost unlikely to catch your streams. That helps too. You not streaming for ages also helps in not catching your streams. But even if I do make it, I'll probably only alert. That's usually what I do anyway. Is it like this every year? She asked cautiously. Stands and stalls, most looking rather cobbled together. Wait, I've read this. Fuck. Bright banners, pennants, and bunting were hung everywhere, including several with texts welcoming the students to Lasro. None after the big one across the road referred to them as assholes, which was a positive sign. Cheers. Um, we're a college town, he said with an amiable grin. Amiable? Fuck. How did you pronounce it earlier? How'd you put it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Amiable? Am I saying it right? I don't even know anymore. We're a college town, he said with an amiable grin. Lastrock is probably the most cosmopolitan village of its size in the whole empire. We've got entertainment and specialty goods, such as you'd expect to see in the capital itself, including more taverns than we need. Students bring money from all over the place, and the population has mostly adjusted to suit their needs. Pretty open minded folks as a rule, at least compared to most frontier stock, despite a few holdouts like Miss Cratchley. Of course, the downside of being so dependent in the university is the summers around here are dry season. And I don't just mean the weather. So yeah, the kids coming back is a pretty big deal. I don't have much in the way of spending money, she said carefully. Or want any. My needs a few. He nodded. I can spread that around if you like. Might spare you a certain amount of harassment next time you visit. Is there much trouble between townspeople and students? Oh, rarely. You can't have those two groups in one spot without some butting of heads. But Professor Twelrin's a good neighbor. You cause any trouble in my town, and I'll have to wait for her to finish scraping and smoking your hide for embarrassing her university before I even get to toss you in a cell. Not exactly a boon to my manhood, but I can't argue with the results. I have no intention of causing any trouble, she said frostily. My apologies, ma'am. I didn't mean to imply that. It was a general you. I end up having to have this talk with most of the kids at one point or another. Force of habit. And to speak the speak the plain truth, it's not you I'm worried about. It was a right breath of fresh air to learn we'd be getting two paladins this year. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, Principal was actually trying to give you something, which is downright weird. Usually when she's around, it's wise to keep a hand on your wallet. I guess everybody loves a paladin. She didn't know what to say to that. Trusney hadn't been offered much detail on the other students, but she'd been told there was a hand of Omnu her own age, who would be starting school alongside her. Hopefully they could compare notes. But it was hard to know what was expected of her here. The citizens of Last Rock clearly saw her as a person of action, much as she wanted to see herself. But Ave seemed to have different plans. Why else would she be here, and not someplace like Sarasio, where a sword of the goddess would actually be useful? And this is as far as my authority extends, he announced, coming to a halt. Indeed, they had reached the edge of the town, directly ahead, even with the walls of the last buildings. The cobbled street abruptly became stairs of white marble, which marched the entire way up the mountain. Above, the university loomed, offering her only a vague impression of towers and walls from this angle. She could also see two dark figures, who had to be those boys from a caravan, climbing the stone stairs. It was an awe-inspiring sight, especially compared to the grey stone of the town and the rusty gold plains that stretched in every direction. The grass climbing the slope was lushly green, and the marble steps almost blinding under the bright sun. She saw now that, in addition to the stairs marching darkly upward, a broad, flatter path zigzagged back and forth all the way to the university, probably for wheeled conveyances that couldn't navigate the stairs. It had a much gentler slope, obviously, and would be easier in terms of pulling her trunk, but it'd also take about 10 times as long. This was going to be quite the hike, whichever path she chose. Thank you, Sheriff, for everything. My pleasure, Miss. How'd you pronounce it? How'd you pronounce it? How'd you pronounce it? Amiable. Avela? Avela? I think is how you said it. Evie. Yes, Avela. Avela. My pleasure, Miss Avela. And please, it's Sam, so long as you're on my good side. He winked. Welcome to Last Rock. I truly hope you enjoy your stay. With one more tip of his hat, he turned and strolled back into his town, leaving her to face the rest of her journey alone. Tristany drew a deep breath, tightened her grip on her trunk, and started up the steps. The sturdy wheels were big enough to climb each step without too much banging, but the repeated bumps quickly began to jar her arm even worse than sword practice. Well, back home, she started her day with a run up and down the steep hills of Verdril, in full armor, on ancient stone steps, far more treacherous than these. Jesus Christ, I could not read that sentence. Holy shit. Granted, the sun at home was never quite this oppressively hot, but Tristany wasn't about to admit defeat this early in her journey. She glanced back, about 20 feet up. Gritting her teeth, she focused on her breathing, on the mechanical motions of her legs, one step at a time. 15 minutes later, Tristany had developed a theory that between the rail rides and this infernal staircase, Professor Tulrin was attempting to weed out the weak and unworthy from even approaching her precious university. She was in excellent physical shape and bore the strain of the climb without complaint, though her arm was already raking something fierce. She considered switching her trunk to her other side, but instinct compelled her to keep her sword arm limber and free. The heat was worse than the exercise, really. Those poor boys. She was pretty sure one had been in a long black coat. There was no sign of them ahead now. Oops. I'm just gonna hold the mic because I'm tired of sitting like an actual person. A thin, reedy sound of music had begun to grow as she climbed, becoming more and more distinct with each step. The tune was a cheerful one she didn't recognize. It helped, a bit, in distracting her from the rigors of the climb. Now, as she finally approached the gates of the university itself, she discovered the source. Though the dark stone walls weren't battlemented, she was impressed by their height. This was clearly a defensible structure. There was only one gate, positioned in the center of the slope, and with the broad marble steps leading directly to it, a small plaza had been carved from the mountain and paved in matching white marble to accommodate the two huge iron-bound wooden gates, which presently stood open. An arch of decorative wrought metal spanned the gap between them, and upon this perched what she assumed was a student, playing an ocarina. He had thick black hair tied back in a long tail, and the mahogany complexion common in the western provinces. All he wore were loose canvas trousers and an open-fronted leather vest, decorated with bits of bones and tusks. At Tristany's approach, he broke off his playing and grinned down at her. Frosh? Excuse me? Freshman, he clarified. She had seen that word on the banners below. Apparently, it was the opposite of asshole. You're a first year student? The young man clarified further, his grin broadening. It was a friendly expression, though. She didn't feel mocked or belittled. Oh, yes. Yes, I am. Oh. Why is my laptop lagging? There we go. Welcome to the university. He had a deep voice and sounded like he was laughing, even when he merely spoke. You'll like it here. Probably. At the very least, you won't be bored. This year's freshman girls are living in Clark Tower. Just follow the blue flags along the path and you'll head right there. And don't worry, it hardly ever falls. With that and a final grin, he lifted the ocarina back to his lips and resumed playing. Oh, thank you, she said weakly. He didn't stop, but blew a high trill, wiggling his fingers at her, and winked. Tristany ducked her head and strode forward, passing under him and into the university itself. Oh. Let me know if the sound has changed from me picking up the mic and speaking into it. And if it is not as good as it was before I did that, let me know so I'll switch it back. Ooh, tea. Let me just get So far so good, that's good. Because I want to curl up in a ball. In my chair. Uh, ready soon? Ready for what? Wait, what? What's happening? Did I miss things? I probably missed things. I don't see what I've missed. Oh well. Ooh, laptop's lagging again. I can't get out of. Discord. I all tap to Discord. There we go. Yeah, sure. No worries. No worries. Bye. I don't mind this. Usually, when I'm reading, it's a stream where people don't talk. So having you talking was great, but I don't mind. Don't worry. I'm just used to this. Is what I'm trying to say. There you go. Three paths branched off from the gates. A wide one that seemed to continue directly on from the stairs, and one meandering away to each side. The path on her left was marked with a small blue pennant. Drawing closer, drawing closer, she noted that the swing pole to which it was attached. Fuck. Drawing closer, she noted that the slim pole to which it was tied was not stuck in the ground. It floated, immobile, about a foot off the grass. Opposite that, a red one hovered by the other side. She drew another deep breath and set off down the marked path. Don't laugh at me. uh, Here, this fucking Christ, whatever. Here, the slope of the mountain had been shaped into terraces, and Tristany's route, marked with more floating blue flags, every few feet, took her along a meandering course down broad thoroughfares, through narrow alleys, and across a few patches of open lawn. Have I ever tried tongue twisters? Is this not good enough for you? Seashell. Fuck. she she sold seashells on the seashore. She sold seashells on the seashore. Eh, I can do all right for like maybe like 2 iterations, and then after that, fuck up. So I don't bother. Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? There was an amazing variety of scenery, and Tricity quickly came to the conclusion that the path she was directed to take were designed to show off the campus rather than get her anywhere efficiently. Not that it wasn't pretty, or that she wouldn't appreciate knowing where things were, but after her hike up the mountain, she didn't enjoy it as much as she otherwise might. The university made the best possible use of the space available to it. Many of the wall terraces had doors leading into subterranean chambers, and the stepped architecture meant there was shade everywhere. Oh boy. Um, there were plants in every available space, shrubs, flowers, vines, climbing stone walls, and even several trees, where room existed for them to grow. 3 levels up from the gates, she passed along the edge of a broad, flat area, carpeted with lush grass, with a gazebo near the front, perched on the edge of the terrace. She passed few other people, all of them clearly students. Some nodded or called out greetings, which she returned politely, and all gave her long, considering looks. Nobody offered to engage her in conversation, for which Trissany was actually grateful. She wanted to get settled in before having to deal with any more people, especially if they were all going to be as weird as those she'd already met in the town. Humans predominated the student body, what little of she saw of it, but there were a handful of elves as well, and she actually spotted 2 dwarves, both women. On the flat lawn by the gazebo, a lizard folk person in a nice suit fenced with a human girl, the clash of blades intermingling with cheerful taunts and laughter, in a way that made her homesick for the Abbey and her sisters in training. Okay, holding the mic is a bad idea. It's heavy. Eventually, her path brought her to the very edge of the mountain, and a nasty surprise. There you go. I am being distracted. I am being distracted, and I'm telling it because I'm bad. And I'm back. A wall surrounded the pyramid of the university, where buildings weren't perched right on the edge, to keep people from accidentally wandering off the cliff. The blue flags led Tricini directly to a gate in this wall, which opened onto a stone footbridge bordered by tall iron railings. A plaque right by the gate proclaimed this the way to Clock Tower. She had to stop at the foot of the bridge and stare in horror. The bridge was gently arched and about 30 feet long, and terminated at the top of a colossal stalactite, at least 4 stories tall. It tapered to a jagged point aiming downward, and had a flat top upon which was built a thick round tower with a conical roof that had a huge clock face inside. I'm not reading that one. And the whole island just floated in midair, above a nauseating drop to the pier far below. Hesitantly, she crept across the bridge. It certainly felt solid. In her rational mind, Trissy knew this all had to be perfectly fine. Oh, sorry, this all had to be perfectly fine. Yeah, I did read that right. What's wrong with me? 33 tickets thrive through the 33. It's a good one because I can't even get through it. 33 tickets thrive through the 30 thistles. 33 tickets thrive through the 33. Fuck. I keep saying 33 thistles. 33 tickets thrive through the 30 thistles. 33 tickets thrive through the 33. Fuck. Should have made it 33 thistles. Anyway. This was a university run by the most famous former adventurer still living, a woman who was a formidable visit in her own right. Magic was ancient and well understood. Furthermore, they wouldn't have built a building on this and housed students in it if it weren't entirely safe. But all that was merely cognitive. She was stepping onto a bridge to an island in the sky on which they apparently expected her to sleep. In her heart of hearts, Trissini knew she was about to plunge to her horrible death. Only by keeping her eyes firmly fixed on the door to Clock Tower did she make it across the bridge. And that, despite the strong breeze... Whoa. And that, despite the strong breeze that seemed to perpetually flow across it. The door was actually quite lovely, made out of old iron-bound wood, with stained glass panels inset. Panels inset. Coming to a stop before it, she had to pause and take a few deep breaths. This was good. Nothing in the vision but the door and stonework. She could almost forget she was standing on ground that was floating on nothing. Trissini decided she was beginning to hate this place. She raised her hand to knock, then shook her head. If they expected to live here, she wasn't going to mince around. Grasping the handle, she pulled the door open and dragged her trunk inside. Oh, hi there! Blinking, she surveyed her new surroundings. It was a comfortably furnished living room, lined with overstuffed chairs surrounding a coffee table, with a battered couch along one wall. A grandfather clock ticked away in one corner. There were no windows, Away be praised. Upon her entrance, a woman rose quickly from one of the chairs and bustled towards her, beaming. She was a head shorter than Trissany, and at least twice as broad, her plump frame squeezed into a very fancy corseted gown of black and purple silk that displayed a dizzying expanse of cleavage. She wore a heavy layer of makeup that made her lips and eyes seem almost to pop off her round face. Trissany was aware of cosmetics in theory, but had seldom seen them used, and couldn't help staring. Waves of glossy ebony hair were wound around her head in an elaborate bun, decorated with sprays of purple feathers. And you must be Trissany, the woman gushed. Oh, it's so good to meet you at last. Imagine, a paladin staying under my roof? Ark, that is, Professor Tolerance told me all about you. You're one of the first to arrive here. Thank you? I'm Janice van Richter, the house mother. Please, just call me Jan. I'm here to look after the place and you girls. Make sure everyone's comfy and right at home. Any problems you have, just come to me and we'll get it all sorted, okay? Ooh, this is gonna be such a good year. Come on, I've put you up in the upper room. Fuck. Come on, I've put you in the upper room. So let's not waste any time getting you settled in. Janice seized Trissany's free hand in both of her own. They were plumped and bedecked with far too many rings, and beamed up at her. Welcome to the university, Trissany. Welcome to Clock Tower. Welcome home. Da 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 da. And that's the end of chapter 2. Before we start chapter 3, I'm going to take a break because I have been speaking for an hour and 20 minutes. Jesus Christ. I'm going to leave some music going while I drink and see the messages that I missed. The dinner lady? What dinner lady? I don't remember what dinner lady. We can switch to this. I do not have a BRB screen. Uh-oh. That's an issue. Oh well. Doesn't matter. Where is Spotify? Mrs. Oak. Oh, the lady who cooks. Yeah, I guess that would be the dinner lady. I was thinking of like lunch lady and stuff. Yeah, you're right. That would be the dinner lady. Yeah, no, she's great. She is great. I agree. Sad she left. Was that technically a spoiler? It was technically a spoiler. Um, I'm sad. Yeah. It's a spoiler for like way further down though. Especially seeing that each like book takes me like a good sorry, each chapter takes me a good hour 30 minutes, hour 20 minutes. Um well, tell me if the music's too loud. I'll just drop it down a bit more. And it's lagging too. Uh, there we go. That should decrease it a bit. No. Oh, this is technically all spoiler spy. uh, Plus, I don't actually fully remember what's the first thing that Vardini did. Vardrini. I need to get that right. Oh my god. I also need a break from reading. Yeah, you're probably vague enough because I don't remember exactly what you're talking about either. up. Vadrini? 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 Sakura. Just casually checking Snapchat off in the corner, uh, which is where I had. Yeah. Anyway. My voice is already like my throat is fucked. Well. Anyway, um, how are you guys doing? How's the reading so far? Was it good? Uh, Doing very well, thank you. I don't think so, but thank you. Just brag that you were reading a book too. Oh, where in Cutter Stream? It was Cutter Stream, wasn't it? Uh Thank you. I I hope like I hope like the way I'm reading it actually like makes it more interesting. I don't think it is, but I hope it does. And I hope it like gets you guys to check out the book for yourselves because it's good. It's a good book. It's so good. And like I don't know, I just like it. I just really like the book. Well, yeah, bit late for you, but I mean, it's mainly simple that I'm trying to get to read it. um, Read the characters as appropriate. I'm trying to do that. Yeah. I don't know if I actually succeeded, especially with like some bits where I just blank out halfway through. Uh, that's my bad. I don't know. I like it. I like the book a lot, and I think I'm doing an all right job at going about it. Azarinth Healer. No, I don't think I've checked that out either. I don't think I have that. Azarinth. Wow. Okay, it seems to be popular. Ah, it's on Royal Road. Okay. Ah, lit RPG. Okay. Oh, that's good. I've been on a lit RPG and uh, superheroes type kick recently. So that's been what I've been wanting to read. Um, yeah, I've always been more of a reader, but there are times when I would rather watch anime. But it's anime, so it doesn't really count because it's good anyway. I mean, usually I prefer reading manga and stuff as well. Uh, yeah, Lit RPG is good. Doom guy in a fantasy world. I guess that would work. It'd be weird, but it would work. Yeah, like technically yes, it would work, but it would be very weird. Of course it is. Of course it is. On RR, yeah. RR is actually a good place to like check out books as well because that's where I've been getting more of my more recent books because otherwise I don't get any shit. Um, it's weird and awesome. Ah, that's good to know. That's good to know. I'll have to like actually check because like I'm not totally into Doom Guy stuff. Like I've never really played games. Romance novels is not bad. There are some that are good. There are some that are good. Take it from someone who literally reads at all times. There are good romance novels out there. And anyone who tells you like, "Oh, romance is only for girls" or whatever, that's bullshit. Like, some good romances out there. Yeah. See, I didn't know that simple. You can't blame me. I've never heard your voice, or I've never seen you like you. So romance makes you think of vampires. Makes you think of Twilight, which wasn't a good. It was a better book than it was a movie, but it still wasn't that good anyway. Yeah, you do play a very neutral gender in chats. It's why I can't tell. I can't tell for nuts whether like yeah. But it's why like I try not to gender people, uh, LGBTQ and all that. But yeah, I did read the books. I did read the books more. So what I'm hearing is, Pi, you should go check out this very cute person called Villain Simple. She's adorable. She draws very cute things. Yeah, books are better, but they were like even if the Twilight books were better, they aren't like better. You know, like there's a standard, and while the movies are here and Twilight's here, that doesn't make it better than you know. They don't actually like come above into like good book territory, like good story territory. Uh, they do make good parodies, yes, but in and of itself, Twilight books are like, eh, eh. Yeah, the bar wasn't set very high at all, and like the only reason movies like, well, the only reason books are better than the movies in this specific case is because, uh, what do you say? What do you call that? I don't know. My mind's blanking. Yeah, my mind is completely blanked. I don't remember what I was trying to say. Black and red. All right. I'll look at that as well. That's another one to the list. Black and red. Oop. It's apparently a song. That's not good. Uh, ooh, period drama across the history of the United States. Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. Simple. Let me just look at my current list of books that I'm reading. Everything I'm reading right now. uh, ooh. I don't use Outlook for this stuff. I literally read on my phone, and I just read, because it's good. Um, I need a fucker. Hey, I need a sucker. I need a fucker. Romance. Where's my romance books? Savage Divinity is kinda romance. I guess I don't actually read like pure romance stuff, huh? Yeah, I don't. Well, bookmarks. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Like I would get that, except I think for my updates, like when things are getting updated, yeah, Savage Divinity is not really romance, but it features it. Um, I don't read any pure romance stuff. It looks like, which I guess makes sense, because I like romance in like small doses more than like a full on. I love you, you love me kind of thing. Yeah, sure. No worries, simple. Just looking if I have. I have something called romantically apocalyptic. What was that? It's something I don't remember reading anymore. Uh oh. Oh, it's this. Oh, yeah. No, that's not a romance story. Yeah, I don't. I've not read like a full romance story. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, I have source. Curveball. I need to read that still. Yeah, it's definitely not romance indeed. It's been a while since I read it as well, so I don't fully remember what happened in there. All right. You read Metaworld Chronicles? Pa, you've just gone down in my book. You've just gone down in my book. uh, Meta World was not a good book. Not like I kept reading it just because I wanted to know what happened next, but it was so I can't pinpoint anything bad with it. Like I'm actually not sure what to pinpoint that's bad with it, but it was bad. uh, I don't like it. I'm sorry. The void creatures are cute. I will admit that. But I did drop it fairly quick, and that is eh. Oh, I need to do that stuff. Oops. Yeah, and along with that, like, wait, Metaworld is the one with the they're trying to take the D&D system, right? Yes, yes, that she's very inconsistent, and oh, I can't remember her name. I think like Sydney, Gwen, and stuff. Um, she's she's not a good character to like have as like a protagonist. Because yes, part of it is that she thinks like an adult and then switches to teen thinking, and it just switches back and forth. But another thing is also that she doesn't D&D like magic system. It was like um, by magic system I mean more like the conjuration, abjuration, trans transfiguration, and other stuff I can't fully remember. The schools of magic of D&D basically. Unless I'm misremembering things and I'm like thinking of other stuff. Oh, okay, cool. So I was thinking of the right stuff. Yeah, no, I didn't like Metal World Chronicles. Like, she's inconsistent, and half the times, yeah, she's very much meant to be like a self insert. So she doesn't like fully have like her own personality, and she kind of like makes very generic. Um, fair. Caliban does carry it. Like honestly, the only reason I kept reading was because the plot rather than the actual like structure and the actual like writing. The plot was interesting. So if I ever actually ended up reading it further, it would be because of the plot. But I did drop it because the plot was a bit too slow moving to keep my interest in it. Um, yeah, for all that Caliban and his, it's adorable, but yeah, it doesn't quite work. Uh, yeah, it doesn't work. Sorry, I really don't like Meta World Chronicles, and I do not understand how it got as high as it did in the thing. Evie? I don't know if I remember Evie. Evie? I don't know. I stopped fairly. I think like maybe 100 chapters in or something like that. Fairly early on. I stopped fairly early on. The heat. Oh, sounds very familiar. I maybe I'm misremembering books. Yeah, it also doesn't help that I have lived in Sydney for a while, and I did start it when I was living in Sydney. So I was just always like, this is not how this kind of like. I don't think this is how that works, kind of thing, in terms of like geographical locations and stuff. Yeah, But it's still not that bad. It's just very much not my thing anymore. I think I'm gonna leave the music on because it makes me feel. I don't know if you can hear the music either. To be fair. Yeah, if I did read it again, it would be for the plot. It would genuinely be like the plot would be carrying it. Well, trying to tighten this without messing it up. I think so. I remember she left Sydney for a while. I think I did get to the part where she did go to China, but like I don't know. I don't fully remember. It's been like a good 2 years since I read that book as well, so I don't fully remember like where I stopped and stuff. Oh my gosh. Why have I started rubbing my eyes? No. Actually, I think that's where it ended. Necromancer base might be where it ended. Because that sounds almost exactly like where it ended, actually. Anyway, I'm gonna continue. Because I don't fully remember Metal World Chronicles, but I remember it was not as good as it could have been. Yeah. Because I think he put. I remember there was something to do with like a Quetzalcoatl kind of thing as well, and some huge shenanigans happen. Oh, I don't. Yeah, it's been a while. Oh my eyes. What? I started rubbing it and I can't stop. No. That was in Mexico? Jesus Christ, how much did I read of that book? Sun Prince? Oh, I don't recognize that. Uh, Maybe I was at the start of the Feathered Serpent thing, which is quite a level, but should be anyway. Oh, God, what have I done? Started rubbing my eye and now I can't stop. Alright, we're getting back into the book, back into TGAB. I have 5 viewers? Oh my god, there are more people lurking. God. This is chapter 3 of book 1. Thank you, Tristan said weakly, trying not to dwell on what was under her feet and what wasn't. Did you say upper room? I might be thinking of the Rainbow Serpent, yeah. Maybe I'll read it again. Because, like, yeah, like you said, the plot is definitely what carries it. Whatever. Janice clucked her tongue, practically radiating sympathy. You poor dear. I know, I know. more stairs right after the awful hike up the mountain. And you're wearing armor. But it's almost over, I promise. And this will be much easier on your feet. We've just got the best carpeting on these steps. Come on, I'll show you. Yeah, I think a part of the reason is also Meta World was a bit more childish than I'm used to, coming from like Worm and shit. Coming from Worm, coming from TGAB, TWI. It didn't feel like she thought what she was doing was accurate before she did it. Yeah, I just didn't like it. If I do if I do ever no, it's not that it wasn't grimdark. Yeah, maybe a bit. But like it wasn't primarily that reason that I didn't like it. It's just that she didn't think the same way that other people thought in the other books that I mentioned, or even Guy, right? She wasn't that. She's just missing something, I guess. She's just missing something that she doesn't have. Yeah, I'll definitely check out Dark Future. I have it there, so I'll check it out after stream. It looks interesting enough, like this stuff here, starting to fail him, endangering the world because of all the superheroes depend on this work. That is very interesting to me, and that just that like sentence makes me want to start. So it does look like I'll have to find like a good place to read it though. Is it on RR? Is it on Royal Road? If it's on Royal Road, then I'll read it there, because that'll be like way easier to like manage instead of like Tumblr and shit. Ah, it's not an RR. God dang. Dang. All right. I guess because it looks like the best one is here. Oh, 39. It's not as long as you made it seem like. Ba, 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 da. Tumblr isn't all of it. All right, I'll figure it out. It's just stuff I'll have to figure out. That's fine. I hope everything has like next chapter links. Even if it doesn't, I'll figure it out. Blah blah blah. Finish that one. She led an unresisting Tristany across the room, where the two doorways occupied a corner. One, into which Janice immediately climbed, led to a spiraling staircase, twisting upward into shadows. As she passed by, Tristany glanced into the other. It led into a short hallway, in which all that was visible was a closed door and another arched doorway that didn't appear to have one. Yeah, sure. Link in chat. I don't remember if I have to permit you. Uh, just quickly permit. I don't believe I do, because I'm. Yeah, you can put it in anyway. Can you? God damn it, I keep doing that. Ah, okay, so that was just one bug. I see. That's a lot. Yeah, 37. Oh, please tell me there's an extra. Okay, there's. Cool. I shall read it that way then. It's a bit cozy in here. Oh, sorry, fuck. It's a bit cozy here, but with only 6 girls, clock tower's just the right size. Janice nattered on as they climbed. You saw the parlor, of course. On the bottom floor, there's also the kitchen. Here's my door, she said as she arrived as they arrived at a small landing. The tower narrows a bit after the first floor, so it's only one room per level from here on out. Now, you can knock on my door any old time you need anything, dear. I'm here to help with whatever problems you may have. Don't be a stranger. If I read it, you can geek out with me. Don't worry. It might be a while though, because yeah, life. And now that I've rubbed my eye to the point that it's fucking tearing up, Jesus Christ. Don't be a stranger. I think I said that. Tristany kept silent, following her hostess. Jens had been right about the stairs. They were covered in the thickest carpet she'd ever seen or imagined. It was like walking on dead. It was like walking on dense moss. Aside from being easier on her tired feet, her steps were completely silent, and even the thumping of a truck against the stairs was muted, and didn't seem to vibrate her arm as much. A door corner of a battle-trained mind noted that anyone sneaking up to her room for any nefarious purpose would have the advantage of complete stealth. She'd never hear it coming. She shut that paranoid thought down as the voice of disgruntlement and fatigue. At least the staircase was well lit. They passed a window every story or so, and wall scones gleamed with a steady light that had to be some manner of magic. Janice kept up her cheerly babble for the entire climb. Tristany tried to pay polite attention, but after a few sentences about the weather and fashion and how exciting the school year was going to be, her attention wandered. Apparently, the women just felt the need to talk, and wouldn't stop just because she lacked anything relevant to say. They passed 2 more floor doors on their climb, at which Tristany learned that her housemates assigned to the third floor had not arrived yet, and that one of the fourth floor girls had come in that morning, much earlier than expected, and had already departed to explore the campus a little bit. A bit, yeah. Of course I've got everyone's travel schedule, dear. I like to be as prepared as possible. I'm so sorry you had to come in alone. It's ever so much nicer to meet new friends as you're moving in. But there'll be 2 more rail arrivals just after yours, and the rest of the girls are supposed to be on one of them. Fuck. And the rest of the girls are supposed to be on them. They're probably on the way up the mountain right now, so it's about to get rather hectic, I'd imagine. But that's just as well. A full house is a happy house, I always say. Ooh, and did I tell you about the attic? Well, it's not actually an attic, more of a study. Or a music room. There's a piano. Fuck, I can't say that word. There's a piano forte. There's a piano forte on the top level, under the roof, and our little library. Not much in the way of textbooks, but I like to keep a stock of some light reading. Can't be all study all the time, or we'll all go mad. And here we are, Tristany dear, your new room. Jesus Christ, I don't like Janice because I have to speak so much so quick. Stopping in front of the next door they came to, Janice opened the heavy wooden door and ushered her inside. Trissany paused in the doorway, taking stock. The staircase occupied its own little turret on the backside of the tower, leaving the main building open. Pie, that's spoilers. But, I don't remember actually. But I also don't remember Janice much past like the first few books. So maybe. I don't remember. I'll have to yeah, well, we are doing a rereading, so I guess we'll find out together. Her room was much larger than she'd expected, almost circular and perfectly symmetrical. A straight wall across the side opposite sorry, a straight wall across the side opposite the door interrupted the curve of the outer walls, with another door set in the center. On either side of that, two beds in heavy oak frames were flat against the straight sections of the wall. Marching along the rest of the perimeter were two heavy wooden desks and two towering wardrobes, both elaborately carved and apparently ancient, to judge by their dark finish and numerous dents and pockmarks. Four narrow windows were spaced evenly along the walls, admitting the golden light of late afternoon. A line between the two doors could have been a mirror. Both sides of the room so perfectly reflected each other. Janice bustled past her and opened the opposite door. Bathroom's in here, dear. The tower's only about 20 years old, so it's fully rigged up with plumbing. Imagine that! Hot and cold running water. Fuck. Cold and hot running water, all the way to the top. Oh, it's common enough now, I suppose. But when all this was put fuck. But when all this was put in, it was unheard of. Professor Strelrun's always on top of the newest trends, which you really don't see fuck. Which you really don't see often in the really old elves. Ominous breath. Don't tell her I called her old. Nah, not really. I forget the bad's name too sometimes. She laughed heartily, making a bulging, bulging cleavage bounce alarmingly. I know it's not much, but of course you're welcome to decorate it however you like. Small, yes, but cozy. I'm sure you'll be very comfortable. I'm used to sleeping in a barracks with 11 other girls, Trissany said slowly, still blinking in the doorway. Good heavens! This must seem like the lap of luxury then. She nodded, keeping silent. It did seem luxurious to her, and that wasn't necessarily a positive thing. Avay's followers were not to indulge themselves in excessive comfort, nor take more than they needed. Truthfully, indoor plumbing was something she'd only heard of before, but she wasn't about to say that and look like an unschooled hick. Ah, what have I done to my eye? I messed it up. Tink? No. Maybe. I can't remember. Now, you take your time getting settled in, Trissany dear. We're gonna have a little get together in a bit down in the parlor, but not till everyone else has arrived, of course. Forgive me for leaving you so soon, but I had best go man the door and make sure to greet everyone as they get here. Dear me, I may not have the chance to show everyone else around individually. Ah, but here I am still blathering on. Sorry to rush out. She hurried over and swept Trissany into an impromptu hug. Oof! Goodness, that armor isn't joking around, is it? Now, don't you worry about a thing, dear. And remember, don't hesitate to come find me if there's anything you need. Anything at all. Ta-ta for now. We'll all see you later at the meeting. Thank you, said Trissany belatedly, as the house muscle bustled back out. She couldn't make out words from the cheery reply, as Janice was already out of sight down the stairs. For such a stout woman, she certainly moved energetically. I think it's Tink. It has to be Tink. It's pretty much the only name that's coming to my head. The bard's name, I mean. Sleep on the dark side. Na 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 na. You could. I did ask Web for permission before I started doing this, which is why I put it in the Discord chat. But yeah, you might have to ask for permission because it could technically come under performance rights and stuff. Just legalese, really. It's up to you. Like you could read it anyway and not give a shit, but in doing it, there's always a chance that you could be, shit. It's teal. Um, yeah. There's always a chance that it could come back and like, can you yeet it out of Twitch? Which is why I did ask Web, and Web did say yes. To be fair, no like official contract or whatever, so there is still a chance that things can happen. But well, if it happens, it happens. At that point, after glancing back and forth a couple of times, god damn it, Tristani wheeled her trunk over and set it down by the bed on the right. The choice of sides made no difference that she could see. She took a bit of time to investigate the bathroom and its fixtures. They were mostly self-explanatory, though there was a faucet above head height in the bathtub, which, though its purpose was apparent, struck her as incredibly indulgent. Ah, you're right. You're right. Plus, I think Tink is also a person I know, so that probably is messing me up as well. Another window provided illumination, but there was also one of those glass bulbs she'd seen in the stairwell, currently darkened. After a little experimentation, she learned to handle the light too. It could be turned on or off by pulling a small lever attached to the wall by the door. There's another of these in the main room. Good to know. The view out the windows was breathtaking until she made the mistake of poking her head out to look down. Apparently, Clock Tower had a small outdoor terrace on the bottom level. It would have it would have been a lovely little spot if it weren't hanging terrifyingly in midair. Justine gulped and ducked back inside, then went quickly around the room, pulling the curtains closed. They were flimsy things of pale blue lacework, not much of a barrier, but it was something. Unpacking helped distract her. She owned little, having few personal needs, and all of it was within her trunk, plus a bit extra. Her spare clothing was quickly tucked away in the wardrobe. From this, she learned it lacked the proper accoutrements? Accoutrements to store armor correctly. Accoutrements? It lacked the proper accoutrements to store armor correctly. I need to look that one up. I know what it means. I just
Accoutrement.
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 Accoutrement. Accoutrements. From this, she learned it lacked the proper accoutrements to store armor correctly. There had to be somewhere in Last Rock she could buy an armor stand, which really was little more than a few pieces of wood. In the meantime, she could make do arranging it carefully on the floor by her bed, as per camping procedure. It did have drawers as well as space and hangers for clothes. As well as space and hangers for clothes. Her few toiletries filled only half of one. Accoutrements. 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 I'm gonna have to remember that. Even though I don't think that word ever appears again. But I'm gonna have to remember that. Rainwood. The book she stacked carefully on her desk. Tristany had been assured that the university library would provide the necessary textbooks, but Mother Narni and several of the other sisters had made her gifts of additional volumes, mostly of history and theology, which they feared her education might otherwise be lacking. Tristany wasn't much of a reader, but felt an obligation to at least make an attempt. But not tonight, she reflected, studying the neat stack of battle old tomes. Oh my god, my nose. Oh well. Her other gift from Mother Nerni was far more practical and immediately useful. The wooden fixtures for her sword and shield were enchanted to adhere to any surface, which was a lucky thing, as there would be no question of driving nails into the stone walls of Clock Tower. In short order, she had them both displayed above her bed. Yeah, I've been reading a lot since I was a kid, but I've never actually like I've picked up a lot of vocab, hence the Lexion and me knowing what Lexion means. But I've never actually had a chance to uh, what do you call that? Learn how to pronounce words. Uh, Especially because English being as it is, with its like weird rules, because it's a bastardized language from everything else. Oh, I'm happy my I'm happy my linguistics friends is not here. Uh, but yeah, like because English has a bunch of like different words in it that are not actually English and actually from another language and stuff. Because it is what it is. Um, it it gets hard to pronounce words, but you can usually like just from reading you can pick up like words and then add it to your vocab without worrying about what it sounds like or what how to say it. So I've never like actually bothered with like learning how to say things. I just know the meanings of most words. Um, well, always fun. But it gets to the point where I figure out the meanings from context and I do not know how to word it, which is kind of counterproductive. No, yeah, I get that. But for me, reading is more of like a escapism thing, sort of. It's just a life in a book is way more cool than life in real life. So it's easier to look at a book and go like, oh, nice. And like controversies, I do understand why people don't like to read as well. It's just yeah, it's just not my thing to not read. Real life sucks, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yes. Tricini was standing back, studying her handiwork with some satisfaction, when the door to her room burst open with a bang. She spun, dropping into a fighting crouch and reaching fruitlessly at her waist for the sword she had just put on the wall. Prepare to be boarded! Roared the new arrival, then swaggered in, grinning at her. Whoa, with the fist, girl. Nephilim's tits, I'm kidding. Let's not start with a scrap, eh, Rumi? Maybe you need to work off a little tension, but after dragging my ass up this mountain, then this crazy damn tower, I sure as hell don't. Fucking Ruda! Yes. Sorry, she straightened slowly, unclenching her hands. I'm a little on edge. That was quite an entrance. Only kinda make, babe. Her apparent roommate was somewhat. Wait, what? Her apparent roommate was a somewhat plump girl, a head shorter than herself, with nut brown skin. She was dressed in an ankle length coat of brown leather, over a midriff bearing shirt that seemed made of ruffles, baggy trousers, and knee high boots. A sword was belted on over her coat, an ostentatious rapier with an extravagantly bejeweled gold handle. Topping off this entire ensemble, Topping off this entire ensemble was a wide-brimmed hat, bristling with a spray of colorful feathers. Striding into the room, she swept this off and executed an elaborate. Sorry. Striding into the room, she swept this off and executed an elaborate bow, revealing black hair in a tight braid and a tiny blue gemstone somehow affixed between her eyebrows. Princess Zeruda Clement Carmel. Oh my god, I completely forgot the rest of her name. I forgot how long it was. Holy shit. Uh, Princess Zeruda Carmelita Zinyu Samira Meredith Punaji, commander of all I survey and your new bunkmate. My friends call me Ruda, those of them I let live. She straightened, replacing her hat and grinned. Carmelita, Carmelita. Zinyu and Samira Meredith Punaji. I will never remember that. Holy shit, Ruda. I completely forgot you had a long ass name. I'm Tricinia Avila. Avila. I'm Tricinia Avila. She extended a hand, hoping her growing dismay didn't show on her face. You're a princess? And you're a paladin! Zaruda crossed the room in three long strides and clasped Tricini's wrist in a warrior's handshake, still wearing that friendly maniacal grin. I guess we should both be on it, eh? Should be an interesting semester. I suppose. Didn't you pack anything? Of course I did. Oh. Did you think I'm an idiot? Releasing Tristani's hand, she tugged on her lapels. Got everything I need here in my pockets. But I'm packing later. Tonight, we party! Last chance before we gotta waste time studying and shit, right? She nudged Tristani with her elbow, winking broadly. The nice lady with the rack said we are having some kind of get-together down in the front room. Sounds about as exciting as tea with the Emperor's granny, but we might as well put in an appearance, eh? Check out the competition at least. To arms! With this below, she pointed at the door, as if commanding a charge, and swaggered back out. Tricini tried to swallow the sudden sinking feeling that she wasn't going to be getting much sleep this semester. Fucking Ruda! She elected to leave the cumbersome shield behind, but grabbed her sword before following. There wasn't likely to be much danger here, but its weight at her side comforted her. Besides, Zaruda wore hers around. There was something new in the spiraling stairwell. Music. The soft sounds of a harp echoed off the curving walls, a gentle melody that made Tristany think of the small mountain streams back home. Ahead, Zaruda half turned to give her a thoughtful look, but didn't speak. Tristany didn't want to make any sounds to cover the music either. It was a relief to learn her new roommate wasn't completely infatuated with the sound of her own voice after all. Their boots silent on the plush carpet, they followed the steps down, soft chords growing louder with every step. At the next landing down, the door was now flung wide open, revealing a scene of chaos. Posters had been somehow tacked up on the stone walls, showing a variety of magical carriages, the new kind that needed no animals to pull them. Tricini had seen a few of these over the years, but the ones depicted in the room's artwork were much more extravagant, fancifully shaped and lavishly painted. A music stand rose. A music stand stood in the middle of the floor, laden with pages, a large floor harp under a window, and two cases, appropriately sized to hold a guitar and violin, sat beside one of the beds. Clothes were strewn everywhere, draped over the desk chairs, scattered on the bed, hanging from the open doors of a wardrobe piled on the floor. Yeah. Yeah, it's coming up. I may read another chapter. Nope, it's too late. I can't read another chapter. I'm gonna end it up with this chapter. It's 5:30 here. Sitting on a heap of coats on the edge of a bed, a girl bent over a gilded lap harp. Lap harp. Jesus Christ, what the fuck did I say? A girl bent over a gilded lap harp, her fingers gliding deftly across its strings, seeming to caress them, and producing that otherworldly music. She had brown hair, cut boyishly short, and was dressed in the height of men's fashion, with crisply pressed slacks and a short coat over a waistcoat, and white shirt, its collar hanging open where a necktie would ordinarily go. Nah, I can't. I'm sorry. I have stuff to do at like 6. It's already 5:30, which means by the time I end it, it'll be like 6ish. I might be late too. Eh. But I will finish this chapter. Though Tristany wasn't well versed in clothes, especially men's clothes, she could tell these had been tailored to their owner. They hugged her figure in such a way that despite the hair and the suit, she would never be mistaken for a boy. Zaruda and Tristany both stopped right just outside the open door. The girl with the harp played on, apparently oblivious to them. Tristany felt an urge to close her eyes, which she resisted, but she let the music flow over her, bringing a sense of serenity that she'd never realized music could. Oh, fuck. Bringing a sense of serenity that she'd never realized music could. The notes glided by, golden as the harp, feeling very much like the streams of Virgil used to, when she let them wash away the weariness in feet, tired from a day of drilling. Even Zaruda stared, slightly socked. Whoa. Even Zaruda stared, slightly slack jawed, making no comment. The fuck's up with my mouth? It ended rather suddenly. The soft. Arpegos? Arpegos? Kyle! Hello, how are you doing? How do you pronounce this word? Word. Pronounce. Pronounce. Pronounce.
Arpeggios.
Arpeggios. Cool. It ended rather suddenly, the soft arpeggios slowing and terminating in a single chord that swept all the way across the harp strings. For a moment, silence reigned. Then the harpist drew in a soft breath and let it out in a sigh. Overwhelmed? I'm sorry, Kyle. I hope things get less busy. Are you at work? Wait, it shouldn't be work time. Yeah, it shouldn't. It's a Sunday, isn't it? Are you done streaming? You are done streaming. Alright, cool. I had your tab open for a while and then I had to close it because it was lagging me up. Oh, that's overwhelmed from stream. Right, that makes sense. Speaking of which, go check out Kyle. Kyle plays games, which I used to do, but not anymore because because my laptop sucks. But 29 subs and 2k bits. Nice. Nice. I am happy you got that. That's good. That's very good. That's very good. That's a good stream. That's a good stream for you, Kyle. You were playing Apex. I saw that. Did you get raided by someone huge? Is that how that happened? It's the same thing, really. uh, how's Apex? How do you do? How do you do, Kyle? Ah, I see. Were they trying to get first place or something? I suck at it. I've played it like once. 2 wins, nice, and a second place, nice, 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 nice. That's good. That's good. Hey, at least now you can relax and listen to me reading. Like half a chapter left, right? Just about. Just about half a chapter left. And then you can and then I'll end stream and then you can, I don't know, chill somewhere else. A clip? What do you want a clip for? Nothing. I didn't do anything. I'm reading a book. You can't clip me reading a book. There's no point. What? What? Unless you meant a clip from your side, in which case that makes a lot more sense. Also, you can just post it because you're VIP. From your stream. Okay, good, good. I gotta watch that. I gotta watch that. If I can click on it, there you go. Be the one. Be the one.
Yes, 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 yes. Resme, I'm Steve.
Oh.
Yes, 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 yes. Resme.
Well done, Carl. Well done. Well done. Good job. Oh, that's good. Main KOTH game? KOTH game? Play this PUBG. King of the Hill game. Okay. It's PUBG and you send to play solo. Ah, fair enough, fair enough. You definitely did not clear that gap. Nah, you went straight in, just dunked yourself in there. That's a good death. That's a good death. uh, Woo! Zarda ruined the moment by hooting and applauding. The harpist started violently, clutching her instrument, then just as quickly relaxed when she saw them in the doorway. That's amazing! Do you do parties? I guess? Is there going to be one? Carefully laying the harp down on her pillow, she rose, straightening her slacks and walking over to them with a smile. I blanked out on how to say her. You must be the upstairs girls. I'm Teal Falconer. Let's see. You've got to be Trissini. She turned a warm grin on the paladin, who smiled back. Then to Zaruda. And I'm sorry, I didn't get everyone's names yet. Oh, I see how it's gonna be. There's a paladin on campus, so I'm gonna be upstaged everywhere. Zaruda grinned amiably as she spoke, though taking any bitterness out of the words, and gripped Teal's hand, rattling off her long string of names again. Which I'm not gonna listen again, because fuck that. Tristany listened closely, though it might take a few more repetitions before she got them all down. Hey! Yeah, probably. Each stream I've done of this so far has been 3 hours. I've not posted prologue and chapter 1 on my YouTube yet, but I am gonna do that whenever I feel like clicking the upload button. But yeah, and then I'm gonna post this one as well up as well. When I can download the VOD. But yeah, like I'll be posting all of this stuff on the YouTubes. I did not click the button to click on chat. There we go. Did I have it as YT? Uh-oh. Ah, there. Yes. Yeah. Don't worry about the Instagram one. I've done nothing on that. There, it's an empty account. Don't follow that. But YouTube does exist. I made the Instagram with the intention of posting stuff on there, and I just never bothered. Um, but yeah, I'll be posting some VODs up on YouTube, and I have posted some VODs up on YouTube, and you can also see my very old fumbles at making a Minecraft Let's Play that's on there. Don't talk to me about those. But yeah, that's there. VODs. Not everything will be put on there, but some. Thank you for subbing. But there'll be some stuff on there. Again, when I get less lazy and actually fucking start doing things. Um, but it will be there. Where was I? Where was I? Where was I? Her attention was caught, however, by a glitter of light from Teal's lapel. Pinned to her coat was a trapezoidal was a trapezoidal silver badge carrying the emblems of the three principal gods of the pantheon: Omnus Sunburst, a vase eagle, and the mask and scythe of Vidius. In a cartouche, in a cartouche, surmounted by the Ankh symbol of the Universal Church, all inlaid in some kind of pure white metal. Is that? That's a talisman of absolution! She exclaimed. Good luck, good luck, Pi. I hope you do. I will come by on stream if you can, if you do manage to do that, or at least I'll watch the VODs if I can't catch it like live. Um, oh, Teal Vinced. Ha, yeah, I guess you of all people would recognize that. Most folks just think it's a decoration. Then it's authentic? Well, yes. I don't think the church would let somebody wear a fake one around. She laughed nervously. Tristany was bursting with questions, but restrained herself in light of the Teal's obvious discomfort. Given what the talisman signified, the poor girl probably had an excellent reason for not wanting to talk about it. Cartouche. Cartouche. Alright. Sorry. Cartouche. Zeruda looked back and forth between them, bemused, then cleared her throat loudly. Okay then. We're heading down to the house meeting that's supposed to be, I don't know, about nowish. Wanna come with? Oh, yeah. Sure. I'll just need Teal. Pretend I didn't say anything. Oh, yeah, sure. I'll just need turn to look around her messy room. I'll just finish this later, I guess. No sign of my roommate yet. She might as well learn up front I'm not the neatest person alive. Zeruda let out a boisterous guffaw and clapped Teal on the shoulder as she pulled her door shut. Gisney only forced a smile and moved ahead to continue down the stairs. The others are strapped behind her. The staircase was too narrow for Tree to walk abreast anyway, and not having Teal right in front helped her to keep a lid on her curiosity. She was going to have to get answers sooner or later, and not just out of ideal nosiness. She was a paladin, a servant of Ave, and by default, an agent of the church. Whatever circumstances had led to a teenage girl having a talisman of absolution were her business, especially if she was going to share a residence with said girl. This time, the footfalls were not so silent. A loud slapping noise accompanied each of Teal's steps. Glancing back, Tricini noticed for the first time that she was wearing cheap leather sandals in a garish shade of blue. What an odd thing to pair with her obviously expensive clothes. Yeah. Occupied with her ruminations, she tuned out the yeah, it should be tuned. She tuned out the chit chat of the two behind her, which was mostly Zeruda, really, barely paying attention to where she put her feet, until they reached the third floor landing and met another person coming up. Tricini had only a moment to gather an impression of slate grey skin, white hair, and elven features before a burst of adrenaline flooded through her. Dro! Did I say Dro? Dro! She shouted, whipping out her sword and falling into a ready stance. A blaze of golden light sprang up around her, filling the dim staircase with an almost physical force. Behind, Till let out a yelp. Whoa, 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 whoa! Put that thing up, you loon! Zeruda exclaimed. We're not gonna be invaded here of all places. That's another student. She's a... Yeah, I can see that. Use your head, Tricini. An assassin wouldn't be strolling up the stairs like she owned the place. And even if we were under attack, there'd be more than one. Anyway, There's no underworld entrances anywhere in this province. What would a drow be doing here if she wasn't attached to the school? One of the drow city states is a light to the empire, you know, added Teal. Can you maybe turn that light down a little? I suppose, Shizune said reluctantly, lowering her sword of affection. Is that the case? The dark elf that the dark elf had stopped at the other end of the landing, squinting, with one hand raised to shade her eyes. She was short and slight, Tristany saw, unlike the tall, lanky elves she'd seen before now. Odd. Drow was supposed to be more muscular than the of his cousins. I am a student, yes. Her soft was a sculptured alto. You may call me Shine. Shine. You may call me Shine. I believe this is meant to be my room? Oh, I. Tristany swallowed, sheathing her sword. The glow faded from her. Shane lowered a hand, and Teal breathed a faint sigh of relief. I'm so sorry. I just reacted. That was unforgivable of me. Few humans seem so willing to express contrition. The dark elf replied with a small, polite smile. I have experienced numerous such misunderstandings since coming to the surface, and I expect many more. May they all be so quickly resolved. There, see? Zorda clapped her on the back, nearly earning herself a backhand from the still twitching paladin. We're all friends here. Is the sword your default reaction to everything? Not everything, Tristany said. Tristany said tersely. I'm sorry, Sheen. I'll just get out of your way. Shine. Well, I guess the fucking name is right here. I'm dumb for not remembering. Uh, Cheyenne. Cheyenne. She enunciated carefully. But that was a good try. Cheyenne. Teal said, drawing it out. Very good. Shorter, though. It's one vowel, which changes pronunciation midway through. My language is counterintuitive to most humans, and vice versa. Cheyenne. Yeah, Teal said, scratching her head. There seems to be a fundamental disagreement concerning what a vowel is, for one thing. At this, Cheyenne's smile broadened to almost genuine proportions. Are the three of you going to the house meeting? That was the plan, yeah, replied Zorida, before the littlest crusader here got all one happy. Tristany gritted her teeth but said nothing. Cheyenne is great. I love Cheyenne. Of the girls, my favorite is actually Ruda, followed by um fuck, I forgot the pixie's name. But yeah, Ruda, Pixie, and then Cheyenne. Cheyenne's my third, and then the fourth would be Teal. To be fair, Cheyenne and Teal are like very close on that scale. Um, every so often they switch as place as well, so. Splendid. Our remaining two house guests are already below, speaking with Miss Yes, Frost. Yes. Frost is the Pixie. Our remaining two housemates are already below, speaking with Miss Van Richer. As my belongings have not yet been delivered anyway, I believe I shall postpone examining my room till afterward, since everyone else is ready. Sounds like a plan, Zarura said cheerily, then prodded Tristany in the back. Well, you heard the wicked child of the underworld, Sparkles. We can't walk with you in the way. Tristany started moving, to get away from Zarda if nothing else. Cheyenne stepped in beside her, walking somehow even more silently than the rest of them on the thick carpet, and she fell to studying the elf sidelong. Her skin had an oddly matte texture that seemed to absorb the dim light in a way that human skin did not, but her straight white hair, which fell to her waist, was almost luminous. I smell some good food being cooked. Juniper's downstairs. Oh, you mean in my ranking? I like her more now, like now in the story rather than at the start. Um, oh, I should not have said rankings because I can't really rank anything past like the first three or four people. And like every time I think more, I start changing up my rankings. But I really just love the entire group in and of itself. Like, oh, such a good group. I love them. I love them so much. She wore a modest robe of green silk, so dark it was almost black, trimmed in black, with patterns of spiderwebs in a different shade of black. Justine had never thought that black came in shades before. Yeah, all of them do. Oh, Aspen's adorable. Aspen's adorable. A brat. A fucking honest to god brat, but adorable. And Aspen's not someone they meet for like a very long while later. So, oh, my nose is fucking killing me. Shane tilted his head slightly, catching her looking, and Tristany flushed in spite of herself. I'm really sorry about that, she said lamely. The hunter she's with is technically a he. Um, Invar! Invar? Ingar. Ingar. I think it's Ingar. You're a protector, and have the instincts of such, the elf replied smoothly with another of those purely polite smiles. And your reflexes are certainly impressive. No harm was done. Nobody else found anything to say until they reached the parlor on the bottom floor. My nose is fucking leaking. Jesus Christ. Ugh. This is the cold coming up again. Ingvar, yeah. Yeah, I think that's how you spell it. That's definitely how you spell it. I just don't remember how to pronounce it. It's probably said again in the book itself. Ingvar. Anyway. Um, Passing through, Tresinia noticed for the first time that the staircase also continued downward from here. The tower had a basement then? It'd have to be it would have to have been carved into the rock of the floating stalactite itself. Somehow that was even more horrifying. Yeah, I love this story that a lot for just that reason because like everything's amazing. Ooh, everyone's here! Squealed Janice from near the front door, clapping her hands. My, aren't you girls punctual? Most years I have to go around gathering everybody up. Everyone, this is Juniper and Frost, our last two arrivals. Frost and Juniper, these are Shane, Teal, Zerda, and Trissany. I know that's not everybody's full name, I'm sorry. But since we're all here and ready, why don't you girls each find a seat and then we'll go about introducing ourselves? Go on, go on, get comfy. I'll be right back with a little something to nibble. Sweet Nacho. Oh, so good, so good. Oh, I love how Nacho just became amazing. Um, yeah. Anyway, don't get me gushing about like the current chapters. Oh my god, so good, so good, so good. Oh, also, whenever you do read TWI, uh, when you reach, because you said you were 52 chapters away, when you reach the more current chapters, uh, which you will realize when something amazingly different happens to the point that you start screaming. Um, you can message me then. Yeah. I just really want like if I'm live or hell Discord or whatever, you can message me then, and I wanna see a reaction to that. No, this is not. Yeah, yeah. Further wandering in, yes. Um, Discord. Don't fly me. Pie. Oh my god. Yeah, just tell me when you reach. You'll you'll know the point. And even if you don't, if you scream for anything else, I'll know you have not reached the point, and then I'll know that um, you're still screaming when you get to the point anyway. So, uh, yeah, that was my brother. He doesn't wear a shirt. Uh, anyway, um, she bustled away down the hall to the kitchen, leaving the five girls alone. Five, to her confusion. To five, to her confusion. Tristani could only see one additional person in the room, but it was a person who made her blink to clear her vision, and then stare. I'm Juniper, she clarified, waving. Good to meet everybody. Teal, wasn't it? Looks like we'll be sharing a room. True. But I'm assuming you'll be able to tell when you reach the parts of the chapters that you haven't read yet, or the parts of the books you haven't read yet. Yeah. Thank you. Bye. Um, I now have little things. Oh, Kyle, Kyle. I'm reading TGAB. I'm shit. I misspelled that. I'm reading TGAB, which is The Gods Are Bastards by. I actually don't know what the DD stands for, but by Webb. Um, he's a great author. I love it. I love the book so much, and I've already read the prologue and chapter one. Uh, 3 weeks ago. I think 3 weeks ago. Yeah. The Wandering Inn is another book that I'm talking about with Pi. Hey, thank you for giving Kyle a follow, Pi. Kyle's a good bean. But yeah, this is. Oh, sorry. This is chapter 3. I will upload. Oh my god, wrong pipe. I will upload the prologue and chapter 1 to the YouTube, and then I'll upload this as well to YouTube when the what is made, I guess. Juniper looked like the kind of woman dreamed up by lonely men, then drawn and printed on the covers of the sort of tawdry magazines Trissini wasn't supposed to know existed. Tawdry man. Huh? Really? Did it? Oh, it did. Ah, it's because bastards. That's dumb. Gonna have to. Yeah, it's because of the word bastards. I'm gonna have to permanently allow that in. I have automod because I don't want to bother with like more racist slurs, but I did put it on like low settings. But apparently bastards counts as one of those. So, um, yeah, bastards is honestly to me bastards is not a bad word, but it is still automod. So, her close-fitting, sheer dress did nothing to obscure a figure that was almost improbably curvaceous. An inch more bosom or less waist, and she'd look like a caricature. Caricature. Even that and her startlingly lovely face weren't her most eye-catching features. She had long, luxurious hair of a vivid green, and skin a shade of green tinged gold that reminded Tristany of new leaves in the early spring. Her eyes, incongruously, were an ordinary brown. Well, Zerda said resignedly, looks like I'm not gonna be the hot one after all. Oh, um, hi, said Teal, who had to keep jerking eyes back up toward Juniper's face. It's, good to meet you too. Wow, you're unusual. Thanks! You have a very interesting fashion sense. Juniper smiled earnestly at her. Anyway, just so there's no confusion, I think that we shouldn't be more than friends, since we're gonna be rooming together. I don't understand human relational politics very well yet, and hate to blunder into a situation where somebody's feelings get hurt. What? Teal flushed scarlet, then took a step back, waving her hands in front of her. No, no, that's perfectly. I mean, of course I wouldn't. That is. I don't. Uh, you know what? I'm just gonna crawl under the rug here. Talk amongst yourselves. Poor Teal indeed. A streak of light shot past Triciny's face, making her jump backward, and came to a stop right in front of Shane. Shane. Right in front of Shane, who once ag- who wa- who again had to squint against the glare. Hi, hi, hi! It chimed. I'm Frost. I'll be rooming with you. Good to meet you. Wow, you're pretty. Can I touch your hair? I would rather you did not. Oh, right. Personal space. Sorry, I forgot about that. The little ball fluttered backward with a faint buzzing of nearly invisible wings. How's that? Better? Haven't got a feel yet for how close is okay. Most people are all big. Most big people are all different about it, and it's tricky with me being so much smaller, you know. But I'll get it down. There's a lot of rules to remember. I'm working on it. Sheehan, Sheehan, yeah. Yeah, I should get that right, but I'll keep forgetting and I'll keep messing it up. It's gonna be fucking great. You're a fairy, Tristany said dumbly. Yep. Well, we're both fairies, but I'm a pixie. But I'm a, did I say pixie? Pixie. But I'm a pixie. Great seas, you're tiny, said Zeruda in awe. Why does a pixie need a room? Wouldn't you be fine with, like, a lily pad? Frost seemed confused by the question. She drifted sideways in midair, as though her concentration on her flight had slipped. Students are supposed to have rooms. All students are required to live on campus, and university provides housing. It's in the student handbook. You've read that? Mine's propping up an uneven chair back home. Of course I read it. All the rules are in there. How are you supposed to know the rules if you don't read it? Easy, Frost, Juniper soothed it. But the pixie began bouncing up and down in agitation, her voice growing shriller and more rapid with each word. Frost is great, yep. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm burping. Sorry. What's the point of having rules if people aren't even gonna know them? I'm still trying to wrap my feelers around the whole business, and I can't be the only responsible person here. And please tell me I'm not the only one who read the handbook. I read it! Four voices immediately piped up. Frost visibly calmed, her flight steadying. Oh, oh, good. Okay, that's good. She zoomed forwardly directly into Zeruda's face. The princess jerked her head back, grabbing the hilt of a sword. It's just you then. Don't worry, I'm still got my copy. We'll go over it later, and I'll make sure you know all the rules, alright? Great, thanks. Sounds like fun. At that moment, Janice returned, carrying a tray laden with a full tea set, as well as piles of tiny cookies and finger sandwiches. Goodness me, are you girls all still standing around? Sit, get comfortable. We'll just go over a few important facts, and then we'll all introduce ourselves and learn a bit about each other. Won't that be fun? Triciny glanced around the room. The only comfort she found was that everyone looked as nervous and out of place as she did. With the exception of Frost, whose body language, if she even had any, was unreadable, and Shane, Cheyenne, and Cheyenne, who worn serenity like a cloud of perfume. In 18 years, she had lived with the same faces at the Abbey. New arrivals had come all the time, but there'd been plenty of time to get to know them individually, one by one. And besides, that was on her home ground, where she was comfortable and knew the way of things. Here, She'd had a bunch of strangers dumped on her in a handful of minutes, and would be doing well not to call them by by each other's names. Not to mention that her mind kept jerking back to the appalling stretch of nothing a few yards under their feet. Yeah, she said weakly, edging towards a chair. Fun. We do need another chapter, yes, but I have to do things. uh, Thank you all for being here. I am gonna switch off that.
Okay, can you hear this? Okay. I know what I fucked up. I know where I fucked up. I know where I fucked up. Yeah. Give me a second. I need to bring it back. Okay, can you hear this?
There we go. I should mute that stream. There we go. Testing. Hello. Hello. Where is it? Where is it? Yes. Okay. 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 Got it. Ernest! I. I am so sorry, Ernie. I'm about to leave. um. Yeah. Okay. I realized what I did. I didn't move the uh I didn't move the audio source to all of the things, which is dumb, and I should have done that, and I don't. Yeah, I'm dumb. But yes, thank you all for coming. Thank you, Pi, for the follow and the sub. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Okay, stop lagging. Um, thank you, Villain. Thank you, Simple, and Proto League, and Apod Upisis for the follows over the past few days, and Sky, the Center Sky. Um, yeah, I didn't stream for a week, my bad, but I didn't stream last week. I mean, it's because I was sick. Um, but yeah, thank you all for coming. Uh, do join the Discord. Yeah, I hope Heretic Erata gets back to you as well. I would love to hear you read Guide. Guide's good. Guide's good. So good. Ooh. Okay, after the song. It's turbulent, turbulent. Fuck you if I could. Ooh. Ah, good shit. Turbulent, turbulent. Yeah. So we're gonna go raid Falsey. Um, Falsey's a great guy. He's streaming Hollow Knight right now, and it is his first time streaming Hollow Knight. First time playing Hollow Knight. Um, have fun. Um, Hollow Knight's a platformer, and he's a funny guy. Thank you. uh, these are just songs I hear over and over again till they get stuck in my head, so I add them to my Spotify list. Um, yeah, so I do have a Discord now. I do give updates in there. I try not to tag people in there because I know tags annoy me, so I don't want to annoy people. Um, but yeah, there's a bunch of things in there. It's a very silent Discord. It is. It is indeed a V-Moto headset. It's a good headset. I like it. And I've finally got a mic as well that I've been using to speak this entire day. Yeah, yeah. I'm becoming an actual streamer. Except I'm still using my laptop. So PC when, PC someday. But yeah. I had fun reading TGAB for y'all. A reminder once again, if you want to find the book, it is The Gods Are Bastards, written by Webb. You can go read it for yourself at that link. Twitch Ward will mute my stream if I don't speak loud enough over music, which I just paused. If I don't speak over the music, what ends up happening is the automatic thing can hear or it can pick up the music, and then it mutes like a good chunk before and a good chunk after. Um, so I mean that's what happens. I still need to add when I'm reading. I still need to add like the chat scrolling down. I guess above me would be the best place. Um, oh yeah, laptop's chugging. Laptop is chugging to the point that I can't play any games on it. I have no idea why. I need to like actually figure that out so I can actually get back into like gaming streams. But technically, yes. If I'm doing reading, I can just turn off the all desktop audio. But I don't want to do that because of games. If I mute all desktop audio, then I just you guys don't hear like game audio as well, or if anything else I'm watching, you won't hear anything. So not a not the best thing. But yeah, also I have the volume down at a soft enough level that sometimes it doesn't pick it up anyway, so I get away with it. And most of the songs that I do have are not English, and that makes it easier to get away from DMCA. Yeah, yeah, you can hear the music for yourself and not the stream by turning off the desktop audio uh, thing. But then that would mean that they don't hear anything coming from your desktop, from your laptop or whatever. They only hear whatever you say, whatever goes in through the mic, which I mean might be what you want. I don't know. Yeah, but that's not what I want. And plus, I kind of need some kind of background because there are times when I'm gaming or when I'm reading. Well, not when I'm reading because I'm constantly talking, but when I'm gaming, um, or if I'm doing a just chatting stream, then I need the music to fill in my silence of me not speaking because that happens. I'm not very good at that. It's like constantly speaking. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, yeah. There is a way to do that. I've no idea. I'm too dumb. Well, not too dumb. I'm too lazy, is what it is, to actually figure that one out. Uh, I could figure it out if I wanted to. I'm just a lazy little bastard. But yeah, do remember to join the Discord if you want constant updates, because I don't have a sketch schedule, and this is the best way to know when I stream. I try my best to stream during weekends. Sometimes, like last week, I was sick. Sometimes I'm just dead inside and no, I don't do it. And there are always surprise streams on maybe Friday and such when I play with others. And I do technically have socials. It is my YouTube and my Instagram. Um, Instagram has nothing on it yet. I don't think it even has like a profile picture. But YouTube should have VODs. It should have at least one VOD, and it should have more VODs. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, no. OBS is not the most compatible, but OBS is the best, or is the easiest thing to catch, to do this thing. Screen recording, in a sense, screen streaming, I guess. But yeah, we are gonna read. Falsey is a good boy. He usually he likes playing DBD. He's a good boy. I mod for him very often. I might not stay around in chat because I gotta go do the things. Falsey's adorable. He's playing Hollow Knight for the first time. Please don't spoil him if you have spoilers. I have not played Hollow Knight, so I've got no clue. Yeah. Yes, we will be reading the book again next stream, or maybe next stream, depending on how I feel next stream. But yeah, we will still be reading TGAB. My Discord, yes. I fucked up that Discord. We will still be reading TGAB. TGAB is amazing. I do love it. We will still be reading it. I read 2 chapters per stream so far, and that's been the pace for like a 3-hour stream. And yeah, is there anything else I want to say? I don't know. Yeah, I'll put the VODs up on YouTube if I can, and I'll finally figure out how to put chat on screen so that YouTube also gets chat on screen. But yeah, bye. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you, pa.